Welcome to Barnstormer and the new S1000R, single R. We have the same engine as in the double R, the RR, but with a naked vibe. It's basically got its tits out. So yeah, Barnstormer have kindly lent me the bike. They've put the that big tall touring screen. This isn't normally on it. I believe this is an extra. Obviously just trying to make sure I'm comfortable on the dual carriageway. We've got the high performance rear sets, levers, and the big difference about this bike, the thing I'm most interested in, it's got the suspension from the HP4, so fully electric, adjusts on the fly as you ride, so it should be, by all means, a very comfortable plush ride, but the engine has been retuned to form a more torquey road-going version of the S1000R basically. So could this be the bike that does it all? ABS suspension settings, cruise control, which I'm pretty interested in trying out, mode select, heated grips, and the dash is pretty similar to the S1000RR. Yeah, that's it. The tail looks a bit different. Comfortable seat, and looks quite good. So yeah, let's give it a blast. Just go through this river. Don't really fancy going through here. It's an absolute nightmare. Look at all this water. It stinks as well. That's that pile of shit there. Okay, so in terms of the ride, beautifully plush, very smooth. It feels sturdy, very solid, very, what's the word? It would take quite a lot to unsettle it, that's how it feels. It feels, I don't want to say rigid, because it's not rigid, it's actually really soft and pleasant. It just feels planted and good. Let's have a little bit of power, see what she does. Okay, second gear, 40 mile an hour. Oh! Okay, it's a jizz machine. It's a jizz machine, we found it! F***ing hell! Oh my god, this is a f***ing torpedo! Wow. This is a weapon. F***ing hell! You know, you read it, it's a detuned S1000 engine, but me. I should need to stop swearing, but blow me! It doesn't feel like it. It does not feel like it. This feels full power, if not even more aggressive. I mean, riding position, let's just talk about that. Very comfortable. It's upright. I'm getting a lot of wind blast. I'm getting blasted in my face by the wind sperm. Oh, there, just there! 8,000, just there! Oh, it's there! It's there! Oh, I'm spunking! Oh, and the brakes are f***ing good. It's a tornado. It's a tornado. It's a f***ing hand grenade. It is quick, I'll tell thee. Yeah, we can't really chuck it around. The roads aren't great.
No, the roads are slippery.
But the power, I wonder why the S1000 isn't like that. I mean, I know the S1000 designed to go longer, but you know, just tug one off. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Let's go. F***ing hell! I don't know whether it's because you're upright. Maybe it's not going as fast as the S1000, like actually as fast, but you'd be easily deceived. Thank God it's got all the electronic bloody whiz bangs. It is proper muscle, absolute muscle. I mean, supremely comfortable. Let's not mask that. If you want a bike that's got sports bike performance and
everyday usable comfort and power, this is a very good choice for you, a very good choice. And let's not forget the price, for God's sake. It's cheap. BMW is a premium brand. And what's this bike? The without electronic suspension, the non-sport, is 9,000 something, 9 grand. You know, and there's no, just because it doesn't have electronic suspension and all the rider aids. I'm going to talk about rider aids because it does sound a bit like a disease. Many people think it's a disease, but just because it doesn't have those rider aids, it doesn't mean it's a shit bike. It may even turn out to be a better bike. We don't know yet. But 9 grand, 9 and something, maybe not, I don't know, 9.5 for the standard, and then 11.5 for the sport with all the whiz bang, jizzy bums on it. Does it lack excitement? It's definitely more alive and exciting than the S1000 on the road. Not in terms of all-out pace and performance, because the S1000RR is probably the best bike, just full stop. It's just the best bike. I don't even know why I sold mine. I was a dick. But it does have that coolness to it. This has more passion. However, it does still have that slightly German kind of clinical feel to it, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Ooh, one-handed, he waves. He must be foreign. Let's get past this. So you have to tuck down, which makes you feel a little bit weird, I've got to say. Tuck down on a naked. Lying down on a naked. Whoa, what's it like? Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe because the roads aren't that great. It's not as confidence-inspiring as that little 899 I jizzed on. King hell! Oh, it's brutal. Actually, it exerts your body holding on. You actually f***ing feel it. Jeez. Why don't we try this cruise control bullshit? Why don't you do this? Oh, that's it. Cruise control. No hands. Now that is useful. That is very useful for smoking a fag, reading a paper, checking Facebook. So you want that option. But in a serious note, it is useful to be able to just rest your throttle hand if you're on a long journey. And this is a great touring bike, I've got to say. If you don't want to go flat out high speed everywhere, this is a great mountain Alp bike. Great. Oh, there's a little twitch in it. But my neck is hurting, I've got to say. I mean, there's nothing one can do about that on a naked bike. There's, you know, apart from putting a great big screen on it. I mean, this has got a pretty big screen on it. Just getting some gas. So the other thing, I suppose the other negative bits, this is all a bit, can you see that moving? I don't know. It's all a bit slightly ill thought out. Like, I don't know why this needs to come so well, I suppose it has to cover the radiator, doesn't it? I mean, it's compromised because it's trying to come from a sports bike. So I get that. There's quite a large span between here and the clocks. I don't know how long that'll take to get all manky in there. It'd be a hard bit to clean. Yeah, I don't know why this isn't black. So maybe you're the type of guy that's like, oh, I really want an S1000, I really want the power, I want the brand, I want that excitement about having such a thing. Maybe you're that guy, but you don't like being bent over on a sports bike. Who does like being bent over? I mean, maybe you are a giver, or a taker even in that case, but maybe you don't like being bent over, crouched down, sore back, sore knees. I mean, the knees are still a little bit tight on this, a little bit high up. The pegs are quite high, but you'd expect that from the heritage it's got. And I wouldn't want them any lower, the pegs, to be honest. And with all the ABS and the traction control, it's safe. It's safe. And because it's naked, you don't do stupid speeds. Like on an S1000, you run out of road so quickly, and you're into, you know, prison time speeds, and you don't even notice it. You're barely out of third gear. So this has all the muscular ability of that bike, but it's just delivered in a package that is a little more accessible, and it sounds better. It sounds better. If this had a full system on it, you're into proper panty wetting moments. But we're just going to go through a town now and see what it's like in town. One complaint I do have about it, and I understand why it's not really that easily addressable, is because the headstock area is from, the whole frame and fork legs shit is from the S1000. The lock, the turning lock, the steering lock is exactly the same as it is on the S1000. So not very manoeuvrable. It is helped by having wider bars, of course, so you've got, you know, your fulcrum has been effectively modified, but I mean, you might be able to start hearing it a bit nicer now. It's like riding a magic carpet. It really is that absorbent and reactive, and I guess that's what the electronic suspension does. And in something like this, as opposed to the HP4, it makes absolute perfect sense to have that ability on a street bike. And this is just wonderful, just popping around town, absolutely. I could do this all day. Whereas Charlie on the Fireblade there, which is a great bike, probably struggling a little bit because you just don't have the leverage like you do on these bars. Slow control, excellent. Throttle response. You cannot get better ride-by-wire throttles than on these BMWs. You cannot get better. It's just absolutely spot on. Oh, the noise! Just occasionally does this little... This is a very, very versatile, usable, daily, reliable, solid, feels like it's made out of granite, this thing. Solid daily bike to get some proper thrills on. I mean, let's not make any assumptions here. It's not a particularly attractive front end, is it? I mean, yeah, it kind of looks crazy, which is kind of cool. It kind of sums up the bike a bit, but yeah, it's not beautiful. So it could look better, basically. I think from the side profile, it looks great.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that head, I don't know, it's going to take some getting used to. I mean, it is an effortless bike to ride. It really is effortless. Just cruising along. It's got the maniac ability if you want it to be a maniac, and yet you could live with it every day very easily. It doesn't do anything irritating. Yeah, I mean, it gets your neck. It makes you want to just, If you come down here, it's kind of alright, but you just look a bit like a knob. So yeah, heading back to the dealer now. It's been a great day. I loved it. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Whether, you know, in honesty to you guys, I've actually got a deposit on one of these. I've had it on since I first saw the bike was announced. And this for me is whether it's based on this test ride, whether I buy one or not. And I just don't know about the motorway, like how much I use it on the motorway. I don't know if I can handle the wind blast, and it comes down to that, because it's a good price, it's a brilliant bike. It's just that wind blast, I don't know if I can do it. Well, you'll see soon, I suppose. Really nice. Scares little dogs and everything. I hate it when little yappy dogs are like... Just makes you want to stamp on them.